Hello and welcome to the video. This is another red letter day. We have a brand new radio from the team at Radiomaster. This is one of the Max editions. Might not be to everyone's taste. It has the carbon fibre effects and also all the red anodizing bits and pieces on it. But this is the brand new GX15 that's just been released. Bigger brother to the GX12 that is one of my favourite radios. The GX12 is small and compact but is absolutely bristling with all the switches, sliders, controls that you're going to need for both quads and planes. Has full diversity and Gemini in it, and the little screen at the top is more than enough for when you're flying an FPV. You don't really use it, let's be honest, to set up the model, choose it at the field, and then once you're flying, you're not really looking at it anyway. Now, Radiomaster are positioning this in a slightly different way from a lot of the other radios that they've released. They're positioning it as a radio aimed at pilots who fly planes, wings, gliders and helis, as well as quads. And so this isn't a GX12 with a colour screen. It's a very different radio, much bigger and much heavier, that's aimed at a completely different customer base. So guys who fly a lot of fixed wing heli line of sight will typically be using technologies like Graupner, Futaba, Jetty and Spectrum radio systems, but might be looking to move into HTX and Express LRS. I think this radio is absolutely made for them. Headlines for this: it has a H7 processor inside. The screen at the top is a top-mounted 480 by 320 colour touchscreen, 3.5 inch size, has a new 4-way and scroll wheel design. I'll show you that in a little bit more detail in a moment. 2.4 gigahertz only, Gemini capable, and I think that is going to be something that lots of people are going to talk about. But when you think about who this radio is aimed at, all of this actually makes a lot of sense. Internal antennas, onboard memory with SD card expansion slot at the back, built-in gyro, which is handy if you want to have an additional way to control something by actually tilting the entire radio itself, built-in microphone for future expansion, active cooling, USB-C charging, interchangeable shoulder layouts, similar to a couple of the radios recently, including things like the Mk3 TX16s, USB-C charging, and it's got a nice loud speaker too. So the headlines on this is the fact that it is 250 milliwatt power, designed for line of sight models. Lower power means less heat inside, and for those people who are flying in fields and flying line of sight, 250 milliwatts is going to be more than enough to get you to the edge of your visible range. Internal antennas gives a cleaner design. I know lots of us are not going to be excited about that. However, I'll show you in a minute, they have left an option for you to install external antennas if that is something that you want to do. Very similar layout to the GX12, screen on top for those pilots who like it, but crucially it's quite a bit bigger. I'll put them side by side in a moment. 2.4 gig Express LRS. It has dual SX1281 for Gemini and F1000 support. And if we're talking about the differences between the Max version that I have here and the regular version, both radios share the same core electronics, RF system, software platform, display, cooling setup and feature set, but the Max that I have here has the 8G02 CNC Hall effect gimbals, CNC aluminium buttons, CNC aluminium scroll wheel and a carbon look case finish. It's not carbon fibre, it's just a carbon fibre look. So detailed specs for those who are interested. Again, this is the GX15 radio, available in white, yellow, red, green and blue. Runs off a 2S battery that goes in the back. Pulls about 850 milliamps at the maximum output power. Only 2.4 gig on this particular radio. Maximum of 16 channels. Radio firmware, of course, is HTX. Requires version 2.12 or higher to be supported. Built-in flash storage. Built-in microphone. Built-in motion sensor, additional SD card to complement the internal storage, 32 gigabyte FAT32 maximum. Gimbals on this are the V6 Hall effect sensor gimbals, unless you get the Max version like this, in which case they're the AG02. Gimbal sticks are M4 if you want to swap them. Module bay at the back is a full-size module bay. Dimensions, it's a bit bigger than the GX12 at 178 by 168 by 81 millimeters, and the weight without a battery is 681 grams. The weight with two 18650s, as I have it here in the video, is 837 grams, so a little bit heavier too. So let's go through the switches and controls. So this is a little bit bigger than the GX12. We'll get them out side by side again in a moment. You can see here that we have a scroll wheel and we have a four-way joystick to manage our way around, return, the telemetry, and the left and right buttons actually laid out in a way that makes a lot of sense. Buttons for system and middle, not dished like on some of the other radios that I quite like. The six-way controls are grouped into two lots of three. I actually really like this. I don't like just a simple 6-button array. It's very difficult to figure out which is which, particularly when you're not looking at the radio. With this, if you move your thumb down, it kind of naturally drops into position and you can kind of feel all of them in your thumb. 6 trims, so normal ones for the controls and then an extra 2, which is always handy to have. 2 nice rotating controls in the bottom with nice chunky indents, love that. Then on the shoulders we have 3 position switches on the right, 3 position switches on the left, and then we have the shoulder pieces where actually you can modify. At the moment this is a 3 position switch and a momentary, which is pretty standard. This side a 3 position switch and a 2 position switch, which is very similar to things like the TX16s. On the back we have 2 sliders, again with a nice firm indent, which is good. We have pads over the rises for the smaller your hand. This time it's just a handle, it isn't an antenna. Full size JR bay at the back, which is good. Lots of exhaust holes here for the inbuilt cooling. Underneath here we have an 18650 carrier with loads of room in here for a 2S LiPo and an additional spot here for the SD card if you also want to add additional storage. And the little button in here, I think that's the boot button if I remember correctly. So apart from that, it looks pretty standard stuff. In terms of how it feels in the hand, it's very, very comfortable if you are a thumber like me. You naturally kind of put your hands around the back, nice firm grip. You have all the switches right there at the flick of your fingers, and you have the auxiliary ones are easy to get to too. If you bring your thumb down, you can get to the 6th position. It's a little bit of a stretch, but actually in terms of the ergonomics, you know, these guys have been doing this a long time. They've got a pretty good idea what they're doing. How is it for pinchers? It's not bad. You can easily get into the corners. You have to have it held up a little bit higher, so the natural kind of swell of your palm is actually not around the bottom due to its slightly larger size, but it's absolutely pinchable and your fingers kind of go where they need to. Not as comfortable for pinchers, I'll be honest, as the smaller GX12, but this is pretty standard for this class of radio. So on the top we have a USB-C port for all the usual stuff, including charging the onboard batteries if you got one in. We have a DSC connection and we also have the headphone jack as well. These little pieces here are actually covering up little holes at the top of the radio. These are designed for connectors so you can have your antennas external if that's what you really want. So how does it compare with its little brother and something like the TX16s Mk3? If I just push this to the side and bring my GX12 in here, you can see that it's physically quite a lot larger. It's kind of a full-size radio where the GX12 is giving you all of the controls of a full-size radio in a much more compact package. And this is the reason why, for me, I'm a huge fan of the GX12 as a day-to-day flying radio. So it's not just the fact that it's a GX12 and they've stuck a colour screen on the top and give it a couple of nice upgrades in terms of navigation and stuff. This is a completely different shell with a completely different layout. It's an awful lot heavier as well, even without batteries, than the GX12, so it's nowhere near as handy. But again, I think this GX15 is aimed at a very different set of pilots. So if I bring that over to the side and bring the big daddy in, the TX16s, then you can see the difference between the two. It's actually a little bit bigger and chunkier than the TX16s. The way to think of this GX15 is less like it's a GX12 on steroids and more like it's a TX16s with the screen kind of moved around. And it's for those pilots, I guess, that don't like the screen underneath where the controls are. It puts it at the top, which I guess if you're doing lots of fixed wing line of sight flying might be exactly where you need it. Now, if you're going to be looking at the GX15, you really need to look at it through the lens of who this is aimed at. It is aimed at pilots at the field who are flying predominantly line of sight, wings, planes, gliders and helis that don't do long range, that aren't interested in having some of the things like 900 megahertz, that aren't interested in having some of the other benefits that other radios in the lineup have. I think there's going to be lots of commentary about the fact that people are disappointed that the antennas are internal by default, that there's only 250 milliwatts of power, that there's no 900 megahertz options for the Express LRS stuff. But you know what? If that's what you really want, there are other radios in the lineup. And for those who are using the Graupner, Spectrum, Jetty kind of systems that are looking to get a toe into the modern radio systems using HTX and Express LRS, this will be a form factor that they will really warm to. The testing that I've done with a couple of my friends who do that line of sight flying have said that this is exactly the kind of radio that they would move on to next. So thank you, Radiomaster, for another radio. I'm sure there are going to be more to come. Stay tuned. Any news and updates, I'll post them on here. Thank you for watching my video. Check out the playlist, and adding Pedantry 60 to your search terms will help you find my content. You can support the time I spend here answering questions and helping others by using the links in the video description.